let's move on to the next one is Java operators. So in Java, we have different type of operators are available. So first let us understand what is an operator. So basically, if you want to perform certain activity, let's say I have A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. I am doing A plus B. Okay. So if you notice this particular expression, and I want to store this value in C as an output. So I'm adding A plus B and storing the output in the C. So in this particular example, here A is a variable, 10 is a value, B is another variable, 20 is a value. But when you come here, this is called as an expression. This is called as a expression. What the expression contains is, here A and B, between I'm using plus here. What is this plus is? Operator. Operator. So operator means it will perform certain operation between two operands. Here A and B called as operands. Operands. So operator is a symbol which will perform certain action or activity between these two operators. Okay, even equal to is also an operator. So what here equal to is doing? Equal to is assigning the output into some other variable. Okay, here also equal to is doing something. So operator is a symbol which will perform certain operation between one operand or multiple operands. Okay, that is basically concept of operator. Now we'll see how we can use this operator, how many types of operators we have and how we can use those operators. So here I have listed out few operators: arithmetic operators, logical operators, relational or comparison operator, and also we have a concatenation operator. So let me just show you all these operators one by one. So through programmatically. So let's go to Eclipse. Now I'm going to create another class to demonstrate operators. So here I will give some name called operators demo. Take this main method, then finish it. So here to demonstrate these operators, I'm going to take two different variables. Let's say integer A is equal to 10, integer B is equal to 20. So two numbers I'm taking. So first I will show you arithmetic operators. So what are the arithmetic operators? So here plus, minus, star, slash, and modulo division. So these are all comes under the arithmetic operators. So these five all comes under the arithmetic operators, which will perform some mathematical operations. Now I'll try to use them for these two variables. Let us see how we can use them. So I want to add A and B. So how to add A plus B? Simple. Plus is an additional operator. But I want to print that output. So directly write system.out.println A plus B. Okay, so this will give you the output of A plus B. So now when you see 30 is an output. So A is 10 and B is 20. So 10 plus 20, 30 is given output. But how we will know whether this is addition or not? So simply we can write one simple message here. That is sum of A and B is, okay, and put some semicolon here. And we have to append this. So plus is an operator. We can use two different ways. Let me explain this. Plus operator can be used multiple ways. So let me show you one example. When I use 10 plus 20, okay, it will give you 30 as an output. So what plus is doing here? It is performing addition of two numbers. So when I use a plus between two strings, so for example, here I have welcome. This is one string. And I have another string here, welcome 1, 2, 3, or welcome or selenium. This is another string. So when I use plus operator between two strings, this will give you concatenation. So it will give you like this, welcome selenium. It will concatenate both of them. Suppose when I use plus operator between number and string. So for example, here I'll say welcome, okay, and plus I'll say 10 here. Now what happened? It will also do the concatenation. It will print welcome 10. Okay, so these are the different scenarios where we can use plus operator. So plus operator can be used as a arithmetic operator as to perform the addition, and plus operator also we can use to concatenate more than one value. So here and here, in the two different cases, I have used this plus operator as a concatenation operator. Okay, so here this is a string basically. Sum of A and B is, I'm printing A plus B here. I want to concatenate this one and this one. So I have used plus operator here. So I have used multiple plus here. So the second plus is used to perform addition between A plus B, and the first plus is used to concatenating this one and the output. Okay, now let us run this and see what is an output. You will get it here. See, now we have got some output here. Sum of A and B is 10, 20. But is it your expected? No, right? Basically what this plus is doing, it is concatenating. So first added A 20, then concatenated by B 20. So 10 and 20 is concatenated, but that is not our expected output. So what we have to do is we have to keep them in the bracket A plus B. So we have to differentiate this expression with this particular plus. So the first plus is working as a concatenation, and here A plus B will perform the addition operation. So first A plus B will execute and then append the result into existing string. So when I run this, now it will give you exact output. Sum of A and B is 30. So this is how we need to write. Okay. So similarly, we can also use other arithmetic operators. Let me just write all of them. So the difference of A and B is, I'm just doing B minus A, 20 minus 10. And this is plus is a concatenation operator. Okay. So if you want to join the message along with the output, I have to use plus operator. Plus is a concatenation operator. So here I'm using in two different ways. One is concatenation, the other one is addition operator. So here star is performing multiplication, and we need to understand difference between these two. So this will basically return quotient, and this will return a remainder. Okay, it will return remainder. So for example, when I say 10 divided by 2, okay, so here when I say 10/2, this will give you the quotient. So what is the quotient? 5 it will return. Okay, and when I say 10 percentile 2, okay, 10 percentile 2, so this operator will give you remainder as 0. So this is the difference between slash and percentile. So one is for returning the quotient, the other is returning the remainder. So I've just used A/B, A percentile B. Okay, this will remain remainder which will return. So these are all arithmetic operators. It's very, very simple. So plus, minus, star, slash, and modulo division. So let's run this code and see. So now you got all the values, right? So this is how we need to use arithmetic operators. So along with this, we also have relational operators. Relational operators also called as a comparison operators. Relational operators or comparison operators. And relational operators or comparison operations are these ones. So let me just write greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, double equals. These are all called relational operators. So basically these operators will compare the numbers, whether equal or not, greater than or less than or equal, or will be verified. So for example, when I say here system.out.println A greater than B. So what happens now? So relational operators always returns a Boolean value, that is either true or false, remember. So when I say A greater than B, so A value is a 10, B value is a 20. So 10 greater than 20, is it correct? No, right? So it returns false. It returns false. Suppose same statement if I write like this, B greater than A. So B is 20, A is 10. So 20 greater than 10. So this condition is true. So this will return true. So basically these operators will check or we compare the two numbers. Either they are equal or greater or lesser, okay, or not equal, it will verify. And similarly, I can also use other operators between these two numbers. Let's say A not equal to B. So A is 10, B is 20. Both are not equal. So it returns true. A less than B also returns true because 10 less than 20 is true. And A greater than B is false. A less than or is equal to B. So here there are two conditions. A should be either less than or at least it should be equal to B. Either one of the condition is matched, then it will return true. And greater than or equal. A should be greater or it should be equal. So one of them is matched, then it will return true or else return false. So these are all relational operators. Let us run as a Java application. Now we got this output. Okay, so relational operators will always returns a Boolean value, either true or false, either true or false. And the next one we have is logical operators. So suppose if you have only two numbers, we can just go and compare with relational operators. But sometimes we need to verify multiple conditions. So that then we have to go for logical operators. Logical operators. So AND, OR, NOT. So these are the three logical operators we have in Java. So when we have to use this logical operator, and these logical operators also always returns either true or false. So let me just show you how to use these logical operators. So to explain this, I'm just going to take one Excel. And if you want to work with this logical, at least we should have two Boolean variables. Let us say I have A, B, and I'll calculate A and B, and A or B, and not A or not B. So I'm just taking few expressions here. Just understand this. Okay. So here what I'm going to do here is, for example, A and B, two Boolean variables are required to check these operators. So let us say A is a true, B is also true. This is one combination. Suppose A is a true, but B is a false, and A is a false and B is true, and A is false and B is also false. So at least we need two different variables. They are Boolean variables. Now we'll see how these operators will behave. So AND A and B. So AND operator will return true only if both values are true. So in this case here it will return true. A is true, B is true. So finally A and B. AND means both should be true. And rest of the cases it will return false. Rest of the cases it will return false. So this is the behavior of A and B operator. Okay, so AND operator will check both the variables are true or not. If both are true, then only it will return true. If one of them is false, it will return false. So that's the behavior of AND operator. And next one is OR operator. So OR operators will return true. Either one of them is true. So for example, in the first combination, true is there, so it will return true. In the second combination also true is there, so it will return true. In the third combination also true is available, so true is. But only in the last combination it will return false. So OR means A or B, one of them should be true. Then final result will be the true. And both are false, then only it will be false, and rest of them are true. So this is the behavior of OR operator. Next, NOT. So NOT means is a negation. So A is true, then not A becomes a false. Not A becomes a false. If the A is a false and not A becomes a true. So this is just a negation. Okay, so this is how we need to use logical operators. And if you want to use logical operators, at least we should have two Boolean variables. Now let me just show you here. I will just create two Boolean variables. Let's create Boolean X is equal to true and Boolean Y is equal to false. Okay, now I created two different variables. Now I will use AND or NOT operator between these two. So x and y, what this will return? X is equal to true, y is equal to false. So AND operator returns true only if both are true. But in this case, here it will return false. And OR operator will return true even if one of them is true. So here it will return true. And x value is a true, not x value is obviously false. Okay. So most of the times we use these commands in conditional statements and looping statements. In the next session, I'll show you how to use these operators along with the conditional and looping statements. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, now we got this output. Okay, so this is how we need to use a logical operators. At the end, we have few more operators called increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. So normally, when I have a variable like this, a is equal to 10. So I want to increase the value of a by 1. So how to increase? Again, I will recreate like this. A is equal to a plus 1. Okay, now a value becomes 11. So here a value becomes 11 because we added 1. Same expression we can still write in Java by using plus plus operator. When I say a plus plus, this is also increase the value of 11. Okay, this is called increment operator. This is also exactly the same as this one. And similarly decrement. So a is equal to 10. I want to decrement this value. So let's say a is equal to a minus 10. So this will give you 9 as an output. Same thing we can perform by using minus minus. This is a decrement operator. Okay, so let's see how we can work. So here is 100. And now I want to decrease the value by 1. So what I can do here is I can just write system.out.println a plus plus. Okay, so what this will do is directly it will add 1. So it will become 101. Now directly it is printed. Okay, so let's run this code. Now you will get till 100. Why it is getting 100? So there are some different aspects we need to think. So there is again pre-increment and post-increment. There are two categories of increment we have. I'll tell you what is pre-increment and post-increment. So what I will do is I will just take another variable. Let us say integer result is equal to a plus plus. So now what happens? A is 100 plus plus. So it should add 1, right? So now I'm printing this result variable here. Let us see the result. What it is printed? Still we got 100. It is not incremented. Why it is not incremented? Because a plus plus is called as a post increment operator. Post increment. So post increment, first it will assign the value to this variable. So what is the a value? 100. So result will become 100. So immediately we are printing the result here. So after assigning the value into RES, then it will increment that value. So that's the reason we are not getting the incremented value. Same thing we can write in another way. Suppose when I say integer RES is equal to plus plus a, this is called as a pre-increment. Pre-increment. Now in this expression, what will happen is first it will increment that value and then store the incremented value in RES. Now when I print the RES here, this time you will get 101. So there's a basic difference between post increment and pre-increment. So post increment, first it will assign the value and then it will increment. So normally we use this statement in the looping statements. And pre-increment means first it will increment that value, then assign the value to the result. And we can print this result. Okay. So this is a basic difference between pre-increment and post-increment. And without using this third variable also we can do that. So suppose I don't want to use any variable. So how we can do this is I can just write system.out.println a plus plus, and the same statement again I'm writing here plus plus a. Now see the output. So first time it is 100, second time 102 it is given. So why it is given 102? Because First here a plus plus. First a value is printed as 100. Then it is already incremented here. So it becomes 101 here itself. Okay. And now current value of a is 101. So in the next statement, I'm just incrementing the a value. So currently a value is 101. So I'm doing pre-incrementation here. So that's the reason it becomes 102. Okay. So this is how we need to work with the pre-increment and post-increment. So when you will see the difference here is when you want to store those values in a variable, then you can see clear difference. Post increment and pre-increment. So post increment we should use normally in the looping statements, because after loop is completed, we have to increment that value after that. So that's the reason post increment will be applicable in looping statements. So later we will see that. So this is a basic difference between pre-increment and post increment. Similarly, for the decrement also we have two: pre-increment and pre-decrement and post-decrement. Let me just take another variable b is equal to 10 or 100. So let me just take one result variable. Integer result is equal to b minus minus. Now print the value of b. Okay, let's print the value of b. Now let's execute this. So we will get 99. So because the first b value, so b is 100. So b value, sorry, I have to put result variable, right? Yes. Now we'll get 100. So because first b value will be assigned to the result, and result we are printing. So result value is 100 only. After assigning this b value to the result, then it will decrement that value. Okay. So same thing if I do integer b is equal to minus minus b. Okay, so then first it will decrement this value, then assign that value to the result, and then we will get exact output. So we'll get the 99. Okay, so this will return the 99. So pre-increment and post-increment. Similarly, pre-decrement and post-decrement. So this is how we need to use increment and decrement operators in Java. So just you guys can practice this one. And Java operators, we have discussed about variables, Java operators and all. So coming to the assignments, so these are the assignments I'm just giving to you guys. You can try this for today. So assignment part. So this is the first program, and this is your second program, and this is your third program. So first one is very simple, just print some output, and here you print your name, and then write a Java program to print the sum of two numbers. Take the two numbers, print the sum of two numbers, and write a Java program to swap two numbers. This is very important. So swapping we have to do. So for example, I have two numbers. Let us say I have A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. And I want to interchange these values. I want to print 20 will be assigned to the A, 10 will be assigned to the B. So I have to do the swapping. So let us see how we can do the swapping. I'll tell you simple logic here. You guys can try it. So let us say this is your A, okay, and this is your B. Here I have a 10, here I have a 20. I want to interchange this. So I have to take another temporary variable called as a C. Now shift this A value into the C. Now the C value becomes 10. Now shift this B value into the A. Now A value becomes 20. Now then shift the C value into the B. Now B value becomes 10. So if you see the latest values of A and B, A value is a 20, B value is a 10. So this is swapping logic. You have to take another temporary variable to swapping these two numbers. And without a temporary variable also we can do that. Just think about this logic, okay, and try yourself. And don't do any Google. So you can find all code in the Google itself, but as a beginner, don't go for Google, okay? So you have to practice. Think about the logic and try to do this. I will also copy the solutions, all assignments. I will also copy the solutions in the Google Drive, and you guys can access and practice, okay? So that's all for today, guys. So I have taken a lot of time today. So please practice this. First of all, install Java, install Eclipse, and then try to practice my class programs first of all. And once you have completed this, then go for assignments. Okay. So that's all for today. So if you have any queries now, you can.